Later on tonight, I'll be zooming into a women's shelter. It's a place where women go when their spouses or significant others are abusive or what have you, and they go here to try to hide out and get their life in order so they can move in somewhere safe. Anyway, I'm zooming in to give a little talk, ask some questions, but the director did forward me a couple of questions just so I could take a look. And one of them, somebody said, basically they were asked or made a statement about, I was never a violent person, didn't have a violent bone in my body. I can't even tell you ever, if ever, I raised my hand to anyone. But when I found out my husband was having a secret affair, I basically went off and raged and kicked his blank. So there's a lot of reasons we do this, a lot of reasons. First of all, anytime we're attached to something primary and it gets ripped away, we automatically go into a mode of fear. And the reaction oftentimes is violence to get back and establish what is ours. That's number one. Number two, anytime there's a power differential or a knowledge differential, that brings up fear, sadness, frustration, and those can present the secondary emotion, which is anger. So, you find out there were secrets. Okay, you have now some hurt, some fear, some frustration, and since anger is the bodyguard to sadness, instead of feeling sadness, because the perception is that we're weak when we're sad, we want to not feel sad, so we want to feel empowered. How do we feel empowered? We get angry. Anger gives us a false sense of empowerment, to be honest with you, because technically, if you think about it, we're at our weakest state when we're angry because we're not in control of ourselves. There's the whole power differential thing. It's especially if it hits a core insecurity, man, that people have told me, Mr. J, I just saw red, or Mr. J, I just saw black, and I went after so-and-so. I mean, I'm talking to somebody right now that got out of jail for being physically aggressive to her partner after she found out of his infidelities, which is kind of sad because she was first in a mental and an emotional prison, and then she went into a physical one. Well, jail, not prison. But so my heart goes out to her and anyone who has been betrayed. But that's why we get angry. That's some of the reasons why we get angry. Our fight or flight kicks in, and sometimes it's that fight. And fight doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to sit there and physically fight. It could just mean I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to reclaim what I believe I'm lost, But it also could mean fight, absolutely. Also, like I said, that power differential, that knowledge differential of you were hiding something from me, that can cause us to get angry. Also, there's an identity detachment, and anytime our identity is detached, we get very scared because we don't know who we are and we want to quickly go back to who we thought we were. That can cause anger, and all these things and much more happen during the discovery. So if you did lash out in anger and physically aggress towards your partner, I will never condone that. I will never ever condone that. But it does happen. I mean, as a matter of fact, it's kind of common. I don't condone it, obviously, but it does happen. It's not only was the rug ripped from under you, your world was ripped from under you. So of course you're going to go from relatively stable mind to cornered Tasmanian devil with sharp claws. I mean, there's I hear from clients who tell me I saw black and I didn't even care if I saw myself for the rest of my life in orange, meaning a jumpsuit. Some people, and I get it. It is a primal reaction of, and especially if it goes to your core insecurities, if this hits you like, man, I was that unworthy, I was that unvaluable, I was that insignificant. the wrath comes out, and I get it. So anyways, anger and I hate to say violence does happen, can happen, may happen, may have happened. I don't agree with it necessarily. I don't recommend it. I don't support it. I'm not like, hoorah, yeah, go beat the person's butt that hurt you. But it does happen, people, and that's something that couples that are reconciling and rebuilding are going to have to move forward. Okay, not only do I have to forgive you for what you did, but, and I'm hoping the spouse is understanding on the other end. Now, if something happens once or twice out of an absolute anger reaction, okay, we can almost understand that. But beating somebody over the head for the rest of their life, no. You shouldn't do anything for the rest of your life. This isn't a life sentence. If you reacted impulsively out of anger and maybe something physically, that could be understood. But if now you are in a pattern where it's easy just to raise your hand to the spouse who hurt you, then no, you are in a very, very toxic, abusive, unhealthy relationship in every way around. And it's probably best you guys do some type of therapeutic separation or, rework your goals and plans. All right, I've taken up enough time. I actually have a session in about 3 minutes. So I hope that helps someone listening who might think, geez, am I a changed person for the worse? Am I a monster for raising my hand to my partner, my spouse? Am I now a violent person? This, unfortunately, is kind of common. It's kind of common. Please, however, don't let it become a pattern.